Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, there is one mistake that I see homeowners again and again. They make this one mistake that loses them thousands and sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. No, it's not about, oh, did I forget to remodel my kitchen or the flooring is terrible, so I got to redo the flooring. No, those are important, but there is one mistake that I'm going to share with you why homeowners make again and again, and they lose a lot of money off of this. My name is Daniel. I'm a realtor and a loan officer here in Dallas, Texas. If you're thinking of moving here, you want to buy a home, or if you already live here and you want to sell your home, feel free to call, text, email, whatever you prefer. I'm happy to help you move to Dallas, Texas. So, what is it? What is the number one mistake that a lot of people make? So, it doesn't have to do with your home, the condition of your home. Now, that is very important, but really what it boils down to is how you price your home. Now, listen, please listen. I'm not talking about, okay, let's go for a really low price. I'm not talking about that, because that would not be wise to do, right? Because every homeowner, every seller, I am a seller myself. I'm a homeowner myself, so I know that I want the most money as highest as I can when I sell my home. Of course, I want that. We all want that. That is for anyone. And of course, as buyers, we want the lowest price, right? So I understand both aspects, right? Now, when it comes to selling your home, I'm not talking about bringing the price down. I'm talking about where a lot of homeowners, because we want the most money, what we end up doing is we end up putting the price really, really high. We're talking about like tens of thousands of dollars higher than it should actually be. Now, when I say what it actually should be, what I'm talking about is the other homes in that neighborhood. How much did it sell for? Because that is what's going to be the true price of your home. Now, of course, every home is going to be different. Every city, every neighborhood is going to be different. So let's say, for example, you want to sell your home in Dallas. Now, the city of Dallas can be different from the city of Richardson or the city of Garland, or let's say the city of Plano, Frisco, McKinney. Every city is different. And not just the city, the neighborhood, right? The neighborhood is going to be different as to how you ought to price your home. That is why me as a realtor, what I do is I run the numbers, I look at the other homes that I sold for, I then also look at your home, the condition of your home, the inside, the exterior, the interior, exterior of your home, everything to know, okay, your home is going to sell for this much. Now, let's just say your home is going to sell for $500,000. I'm not saying, okay, let's lower the price down to $450 or $470 or $480. That's not what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying, okay, let's put it up for $550,000. If I say your home is valued at $500,000, not according to my opinion, but according to data. How are we going to look at data? According to see the other homes. How much did they sell for recently? Square footage. And also, what kind of upgrades you have in your home. So that is what's very important, that will determine how much your home can sell for. Now, why is this important? Homeowners, they think, you know what? If it's $500,000, I might as well just list mine for $550,000. And so that when I do that, then little by little, I can lower the price if my home doesn't attract any buyers and I don't get any offers. Well, what that does to your home is people are going to think, or actually the buyers are going to think as they're looking at the home, they're like, okay, what's wrong with this home? Why is this home on the market for a few weeks, a few months? So that's always kind of the question that buyers are going to have. So let's say you're looking at a home yourself, you want to buy a home. You see a house on the market for 1 month. Other homes are going off the market or being sold, going under contract within a few weeks. And you see a home that's been on the market for over a month. What's going to be on your mind? Why is this not home selling? Is there something wrong with this home? Is this home too expensive that people are not wanting to move forward with? So there's going to be a lot of doubt in the buyer's perspective. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to want to bring down the price as much as they can because they know your house has been on the market for a long time. And so they're going to want to negotiate 10% lower, 20% lower, especially in this market. Now, this market is a very different market that we are seeing in comparison to what we've seen about 3, 4, 5 years ago. This is a market where a lot of home owners are putting their houses on the market and buyers are putting an offer price of asking price of 10% lower, 15% lower. So if a home is $500,000, we see a lot of offers coming in at $400,000 to $450,000, right? Isn't that crazy? 10 to 20% lower than where it is currently listed at. So that's kind of what happens in this kind of market. But regardless of the market, in a regular, typical market, you don't want to overprice your home because home buyers are going to think, okay, is there something wrong with the home? At the same time, you're not going to want to underprice your home and get little money, right? You don't want a net profit of very low money, right? Because there's fees that's going to come out. So you want to make sure you price it correctly. And this is important because when you price it correctly, we're talking about in a typical normal market, okay? Not today's market right now. But in a typical normal market, when the market is steady and it's pretty good, you want to price it correctly because what that does is that puts your home under contract as soon as possible. And when you get it under contract as soon as possible over the weekend, within a week or so, then that is very good because you might get multiple offers. That might be an option, and that's kind of what I aim for. There was a client of mine where we priced it exactly how it was supposed to be, and we got multiple offers. This isn't just one client, but this is multiple clients, numerous clients, that we priced it correctly. Now, I've seen where we price it too high, and I let the homeowners know, hey, just a warning, your house is going to be on the market longer. It's going to sit there for quite some time. Don't blame me because you're the one that wanted to put it a higher price. I think it should be priced at $500,000, and so homeowners want to price at $550,000, and we've seen it go kind of below $500,000 sometimes because of that marketing or pricing mistake that we want to call. The number one mistake that homeowners do, and they lose thousands and sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. So this is why it is very important that you price your home at the correct price, and also when it comes with appraisal, that we want to make sure that it appraises correctly. If not, sometimes if it's appraised that, let's say for example, we price it at, let's say we get an offer at $510,000, okay, that's great, $510,000, but it appraised at $500,000, then the buyer's going to come back at us and say, you know what, it's appraised at $500,000. I want to pay $10,000 over, so I want to terminate the contract. So that happens once in a while. Now, of course, we want to get the highest, but at the same time, it has to be a number that is a reasonable and that will most likely appraise for, or else when that deal falls through, then later down the line, we have the house on the market longer and longer and longer, weeks and months. And I've seen this happen. So that's just kind of a 2 cents of where we want to price it accordingly. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it is very important to make upgrades, do upgrades with your home. Like, for example, kitchen. Like, I know a lot of people who can fix things here and there. I have a lot of contacts. And so a lot of my clients who want to sell their homes, they always ask me, hey, Daniel, do you have someone that does flooring? Do you have someone that does paint? Do you have someone that does kitchen, bathroom, remodeling, whatnot, right? So I have a lot of those contacts. And when homeowners have to upgrade their kitchen, then I look at the home and I say, you know what? No, it's not worth upgrading. Or yes, this is definitely worth upgrading. We want to definitely fix it as much as we can, but at reasonable prices, because we don't want to pay a lot of money on repairs and not be able to sell at a higher price than how much we paid for the repairs, right? So that is kind of where I look at the home and I see, okay, what's the condition of your home? What's the interior like, the exterior? How are you going to get your home ready to show to the buyers? Because first impression is very important, right? Because when people come to a home and they see it, they just started looking, right? That's what I always hear. I just started looking, and then like a week later, they take a look at it a second time, and then they put an offer, right? So this is why first impression is so important. This is why you have to learn how to declutter everything. Get rid of all your junk. Maybe you have to paint. Maybe you need to redo your flooring. Whatever it is, that is where my expertise will come into the picture, help you out, give you advice, give you recommendation, and we get your home ready to show. I have professional photographers, drone as well, everything. So if you want to sell your home here in Dallas, feel free to call, text, email, where you prefer. I'm happy to help you move to Dallas, Texas, or sell your home as well. So if this video helped you out, make sure to click that like button. If you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.